Happy Monday, everybody. The Resistance base is open, and that means it is the Resistance broadcast. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today, being a part of the Resistance, taking time out of your Monday or whatever day you happen to be listening, and hanging out with us. My name is John Hoey. We have a great show in store for you today. News is a little light, but the good news about that is we are going to be getting to a lot more of your questions than we usually do in Ask the Resistance. So we look forward to getting to that later. But first, let's welcome in, as always, James Bainey and Lacey Gillerin. Guys, what is going on? Happy Monday. How are you?
Happy Monday, Resistancers. By the way, I want to mention that today's, as of recording, the title of our podcast is TBD. That's because John comes up with the titles long after the episode records.
The Bedistance Dodcast.
Oh, wow, you did that quick.
This is really weird.
Dodcast. Who said that? Is that you, Lacey?
Yeah, it's me. Hey, guys, what's up? Ready to talk about Star Wars, and there's no news, so this is going to be fun.
Yeah. Light news, but that means more time to answer crazy questions, right, guys?
Yeah, hopefully, like 3 months from now, we won't be still being here like, there's nothing new this week, so...
Yeah. Oscar Isaac was wearing a Santa hat walking down Madison Avenue.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Is Poe Dameron going to be giving away gifts in episode 9?
Did you guys
Stay tuned.
Did you guys see who Daisy Ridley is dating this week? Like, it's just stuff like is not even really Star Wars related at all.
You know, in credit to her, like her PR or her, like, she is left alone. Like she's never in tabloids about who she's dating or anything like that. So
I think she's a little bit, but she's very, very private. So she tries to not go out in public with people.
Yeah, that's good.
Yo, I read the covers on the rack at the grocery store. I see what's up. I know what's going on in the world.
It's like the opposite of what Carrie Fisher's situation was. She was just like everywhere, like Paul Simon, and then now she's dating this person, and just like it was absolutely crazy. And then you flip it to like Daisy Ridley, and people just like
she
leave
gave
her alone.
Daisy that advice, which don't go through everyone in the crew or whatever.
Yeah, well, like she had her Carrie Fisher way of saying things. Yeah.
All
right, guys. So we have poll results, right? We have to do some poll results, and then we have a giveaway winner to announce. We haven't done one of those in a while. I actually forgot about this. So, but first, the poll results. If you listened to last Monday's episode or read our report over at Star Wars Newsnet, you know that episode 9 is indeed filming in Jordan. Now, what planet do you think it's for? And this is one of our closest polls we've ever had, I think. It's not like 80 to like 5 or something. It was 45% of you said we're going back to Jakku and going full circle sequel trilogy style. 23% said we're going to revisit Jedha or whatever's left of Jedha, perhaps because of Kyber crystals, who knows. And 17% said we're really rounding this thing out and going back to Tatooine. And 15% of you, I don't know if you were trolling. I mean, good on you if you were, because the answer option was there. Another new desert planet in Star Wars. So guys, were you shocked that Jakku took the taco here? And what do you guys think? I know we kind of talked about it, but are you guys settling on what planet you think it is finally?
Okay, so number one, I was surprised by the results only in the sense that I think Jedha should have been the 17% and Tatooine would have been the 23%. But it doesn't surprise me that the majority of people thought it was Jakku. The other thing that I got the takeaway from this is that I kind of hate to say it now, but I did vote for another new desert planet.
On a full scale troll mission? Or do you honestly think we're getting another desert planet?
I understand that, but sometimes Star Wars does things like this. So they brought back, wait, hold on, you're bringing back the Death Star? Wait, hold on, you're bringing back the Death Star again? So sometimes that stuff is just like, okay, that they decided to go that route again, unsurprisingly. The other thing is that I know there's the whole like round out the trilogy thing, lots of fan service, and I'm all down for that. But so far, every time you try to predict when somebody is someone or a planet is somewhere or what is the relationship to this, most of the time you should just err on the side of it's new. So we can try to figure out if this planet is in fact one of these three, or we could just say an infinite number of stories that are out there, and that just seems more logical than one of the 3 planets when they have
And
they
maybe
can make up
that's
anything.
why Darth Vader became so evil, because there's just too many damn sand planets in this one particular galaxy.
And he
Yes.
hates
Yeah,
sand.
and the whole planet is sand,
And he hates
unlike
it.
Earth, where it's like, you know, you have a beach here and so on. Lacey, what about you? What was your take on the results? And
I think the results are pretty solid. They're exactly what I would have assumed. I would have even put New Planet above Tatooine, just because I think that going back to Tatooine is like, it's that extra push into fan service that I don't think is going to happen. Overall, I think Finn's going to be very unhappy because we're going back to Jakku, and why does everybody want to go back there? But
yes,
I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's the only way to explain, you know, bring Rey's journey full circle, is to have her go back to where she was her whole life.
it's like Poe Dameron accidentally. You remember that he left like sunglasses in that TIE fighter, so they go dig up the remains of that old TIE fighter and get his shades back.
It is interesting. Real quick, one more thing is that if they go back to Jakku, that really connects the whole sequel trilogy. If they go back to Tatooine, it really connects the entire like saga of Skywalker films. And if they go back to Jedha, it ties all the Star Wars films together. Because of Rogue One, that's not really in this story, but it's like now the standalones are brought into this story as well. If that kind of makes sense.
Right.
So it's
Spoiler
they're all
alert.
kind of.
We're only going to sand planets in episode
that's it.
9.
So I don't think it's a new planet, just because JJ got enough flack for making a new sand planet in The Force Awakens, and if he's like, but here's another one, people will be like, stop it, JJ. Yeah, just stop.
Well, he's
just go to the beach and get it out of your system.
He's going to bring in a Starkiller base that's 3 times bigger than the last one. This movie.
So it's big.
We blew up the last
Han Solo
one.
comes back just for that in a recording. He's like, so it's big.
We got that
All
dead
right, guys,
guy and the plumber to help us.
Yeah. All right, so best comment went to Lewis at Clive Crash. Lewis said, I want it to be Tatooine. Let's finish this where we started. But I think it's probably Jakku. So he wants Tatooine, but he's thinking Jakku. So
Smart man.
now, before we hop into the hot news that is going on in Star Wars, we have a giveaway winner that I completely forgot about, so I apologize. First, I want to thank all of you who participated in our hashtag Rate the Resistance. That was our campaign to have you guys rate us on iTunes. We asked for 5 stars, whether you did or didn't. That's up to you. And then screenshot your review and send it to us on Twitter at RBATSWNN, and simply entered to win a free t-shirt of ours of your choice. So thank you to all of you who have been rating us. We've gone up 50 iTunes ratings in the last couple of months. So whoever's out there and reviewed us, thank you so much. If you haven't yet, if you don't mind after this episode, taking a minute and doing the same. We may bring this back again in the future. But without further ado, I hate saying that. Why do I say that? Without further ado. We have a winner. The winner of the t-shirt from hashtag Rate the Resistance is Jordan Delgadillo at Delgadillo Art. Congratulations, Jordan. Delgadillo, you, sir, are going to we'll get in touch with you, and you'll let us know what shirt you want, what size, and we'll get it off to you. We have about 39 or 40 different options for you to choose from, so
pick the
choose
Kylo
wisely.
one.
Lacey wants you to pick a Kylo one. I say pick either I'm wearing Gary the Porg right now, or maybe a little Make Solo 2 Happen, which was very popular at New York Comic Con. So if you want to be popular like I was.
I say go for that full frontal Darth Maul.
The full frontal Darth Maul? I don't know if we have a full
Wait,
frontal
what?
Darth Maul.
What shirt is
the whole
this?
front.
That
Relax,
phrase can
you
mean
guys.
different things
You
to
guys-
different people.
Yeah. The whole front of the shirt is Darth Maul's face.
It's his face.
Yeah.
Yes, his face.
Is-
So, yeah, I don't know if people on the
Get your head
podcast
out
heard
of
me
the
talk about
space
this.
gutter.
We have to get our head out of the new planet sand. So I don't know if our podcasters listen, our podcasters, our audience
Podcasters.
listen to this, but at New York Comic Con, I wore my Make Solo 2 Happen shirt, and like 25 people were like, high five, yeah, awesome shirt, where'd you get that? Yes, make a sequel. And then one guy, I'm just walking by him, he's like, that's a stupid shirt. I was like,
That guy doesn't know it, but he listens to the Resistance broadcast. Like he
that guy did
didn't
not listen.
He saw the shirt later and he's like,
he is so lucky that I wasn't with you, because I would have said your face is stupid.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I did the whole pretend I didn't hear him thing.
No, I would totally heckle him back. Some guy gave me a hard time at Rose City and was like, that movie sucks, when he was going by the exhibit, which I had worked on for months. And I looked at him and I was like, really, why? And he was like, cause it's just bad. I was like, have you seen it? He's like, no. I was like, so where are you coming from, bud? Give me some details. He's like, I gotta go. And it like ran away.
Well,
I heckle back.
States, and this is fact here, folks. So get a pen and paper and write this down. If you heckle people and troll and bash things that you have never even seen, when your mom heats up your Hot Pockets for you, they're even hotter. So just keep on trolling, guys.
That's the worst, because then they're like lava on the outside, and then they're freezing cold on the inside.
She tends to undercook them, so maybe I should start heckling people. Make sure it's the right temperature.
Hot Pockets. This podcast is not brought to you by Hot Pockets. If you do want to sponsor us and have a company, let us know.
I wish it was.
Hashtag not a sponsor. All right, guys. It is congrats again to Jordan. So we'll get in touch with you and let you pick a shirt and a size, and we'll get that out to you. And thanks again to everybody for your support. We appreciate it. But now it is time for the red hot fire news.
The crossfire.
Cracking Star Wars this week. The crossfire news in the Resistance Report. What's up, James?
It's the Resistance.
Oscar Isaac, guys. He's up, man. He's out there.
Don't sound excited.
Don't sound so excited. No, I'm saying it's Oscar Isaac. He's the news this week. He's out there. He's doing interviews.
Oscar Isaac, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do a lot of sighing. He's out there. He's out there doing it, guys. No, I'm just all right. He's out there and he's doing interviews with IndieWire. And the big takeaway from this interview, even though it was like really about everything that this guy's doing, all of his movies, all of his time off, everything. If you're going to include everything that he's doing, you got to include Star Wars. And if you're including Star Wars, we're going to talk about it. The big thing here was, he was asked about being on the set, episode 9. How's it going? How's everything happening? And he said, and I quote here, the way they've been shooting it right now is looser than it's been the last 2 times. So he was clarifying in this point that J.J. Abrams has been allowing some more improvisation. Is that the right word? Improvisation on the set. I can't say that word. But he continued on. He said... Improvisation. Yeah. He continued on. He said, it does feel like a relief to get on set and feel like, oh, we can try things. It's a testament to J.J. coming back and feeling confident. There's less pressure for it to be right. We just want to make a good movie and have a really good time while we're doing it. So I think, there were some other quotes too, but I think this is really the big takeaway from this. And I think a lot of fans are starting to kind of say, whoa, improv, like, did we learn nothing from Solo? And I really don't think that is the intent that Oscar is saying here. I think he's really trying to say it in a good way, like it's like coming home. Lacey, I'm going to ask you, do you read into these comments at all from Oscar? Do you think there's anything he's really telling us, anything to be taken away from these comments, this story?
Honestly, I think he's given an answer so he can give an answer, and I don't think it's a real one because he knows he can get in trouble if he gives a real answer. I think he's being nice and trying to give something, but he's trying to not give anything away, so to speak. It's like kind of confusing, but it makes sense. But I mean, I get what he's saying. He's saying the first one was super secretive. I'm sure they still lock up scripts every night and they're like super serious about stuff getting out. But I mean, I think he's also mentioning the fact that they were taking pictures of him in a field in a Star Wars outfit like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So I understand what he's saying in the sense of it does feel a little bit looser. Like they have nothing to prove at this point. People are going to show up. It's Star Wars. They've done an amazing job so far. They have nothing to prove in the sense of like The Force Awakens. It was coming back after almost 40 years of not being around. So yeah. It is whatever.
So okay, they have nothing else to prove. They're just going to do their thing and see how the movie comes out, right? And you're just going to have to deal with it one way or another, because that's part of his other comments too. He was talking about the fans and how every time something does get leaked, there's going to be a story about it, and all these websites and stuff have to, take their exactly what we're doing right now. We have to take that information and try to digest it one way or another, and they're not really paying attention to that stuff. Do you think, John, that this points in any way to there being more leaks? Like, that they just kind of don't care? That, like, maybe we are going to see more sets. We just got the pictures that Lacey was talking about. We got the stuff from Jordan. Maybe this is just like, you know what? We don't really think that anybody's going to be able to pull too much from this. Every time they try, they think it's Jakku. It's not Jakku. So who cares? They don't know what we're doing.
I think those are two separate things. I think what he meant by it's looser and things like that, he means the tone of the production with the crew and the cast, and how their process is compared to the first time. I think he's alluding to the first time more so just because it's J.J. Abrams again. But the first time there was this pressure because, say what you want, there were issues people had with the prequels, and Star Wars had been gone for a decade if you don't count the Clone Wars. And there was this pressure like, okay, well, it's back and George Lucas is gone, and we have to prove to these people who are Star Wars fans that Star Wars is still Star Wars.
And it's Disney. They were taking the whole Disney thing.
JJ talked about it pretty openly that he felt a lot of pressure to make it right. And the whole theme to make it right, make it feel like Star Wars. And let's not forget, Larry Kasdan was a part of writing that script too. And if we learned anything about Solo, like you were saying, James, Kasdan likes sticking to the pages when people try to go off course.
Yeah.
He's very proud of the type of dialogue he writes. You pull Kasdan out of that, and now it's still JJ. Maybe that opens the door to an Oscar Isaac saying, like, well, let me try this line here, let me try this line there, sort of thing.
We're lucky that Larry Kasdan didn't have that little bit of George in him. Like, no, I think it needed to be this. Like, I think there probably was some good collaboration between letting it slip a little bit and let JJ kind of take control as well.
And we've seen JJ proven, evident that he's open to collaboration. I mean, even the ideas he took from Ava DuVernay while small on the Starkiller base, his collaborations, like you're saying, with Kasdan through the script, working with the production team, and maybe this works, maybe that doesn't work. Rian Johnson asking him to switch the droids out at the end of the movie to help his movie. He doesn't seem like a dictator type of director. And I feel like that, I'm not saying Rian Johnson is, by the way, but do you feel like that tone is there where there's a trust now? They don't need to prove anything anymore. Like Lacey said, they are just here knowing it's the quote unquote final one, and their job is simply to make a great Star Wars movie as Paramount without having to prove that it's back.
Yeah. I do know there's a very real thing called the sophomore slump. And that is from my perspective, being in the band, being a musician years ago, is that we put out one record and we really tried hard on it, and we just hoped and prayed that everybody really liked it. And when they did, we were lucky. But then we have to write that second record, and that second record almost has just as much pressure because now we have something to live up to, and that was The Last Jedi. Like there was that existence. But then once that second record comes out and people, like it, or it was accepted, or it is what it is, and you get a chance to write that third record, you have time to breathe, because your fans that have stuck with you for the first and the second, even if that third one isn't that great, they know there's a fourth one coming. You've had one bad one that wasn't so terrible, but I'm still a fan of the band as a whole. So
you built the trust.
Yeah, you built the trust. So I think that it does make sense that on this, I know we've had other movies, we had 2 other standalones, but the point is, in this trilogy, we did 1, there was a lot of pressure. 2, is it going to live up to The Force Awakens? Okay. Now, whatever. I think we got this. We know what this is. We have the tone. We have the feel. We're going to get in there. We're going to do our job. We've played these characters before. That's what all the actors are doing. This might be their last time coming back as their characters, so there's a little bit of pressure there. But I think that coming back home is the best way to put it. I think that this is just meeting back up with friends and saying, guys, let's do this. We got one more. This is going to be great. Yeah,
cherish it. And also, that what you just said kind of brought up another thing in my mind. let's not forget how green Daisy Ridley and like John Boyega were going into The Force Awakens. And by green, I mean
drowning in money.
Now they are.
Now they are.
Now they're Scrooge McDucking, doing backstrokes through it. No, but I mean, like, new to the process, and like JJ saying, like, Daisy was wooden and he had to help her through things. So it's less of him bringing newcomers on. Now they're like vets, and they all have mutual trust and
they know their
there.
characters. They know that, like, what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not who's this new girl and how do I direct her? I don't have any frame of reference. Now JJ's like, Daisy knows how to be Rey. We can eliminate that part of the equation and just make the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because for the first few movies, these characters are thinking like, okay, I'm Rey, but who is Rey? You know, what I'm the actor. Right. How do I figure out how to portray this character? Once you've already portrayed that character for 2 movies, you go, okay, what's next in Rey's journey? Oh, she's going to walk left or walk right. Cool, I can do that. But I can already snap into my character that I've already developed over 2 films. So
I'm no one.
And all those Forces of Destiny shorts, that's when they really got into the nitty-gritty details of their
Rest
character.
In peace, by the way. Rest in peace.
So there's no Scoundrels Rundown this week, but Forces of Destiny, they said that they're gonna. There's no plans for future
Tracy
episodes.
Canobio, the publicist of Lucasfilm Animation, said that it's no longer in production, with no plans as of now to do anymore. But with the caveat that could change somewhere down the line. But as of now,
this is what happens when you work all day. What? No.
This was a few days ago, so you must have been working.
I've been working. I launched.
I don't think
this
it was
week.
Like headlining news or anything like that.
No, it was just a tweet. Yeah,
they were supposed to bring Kylo in eventually.
Oh boy, 6 degrees of Kylo Ren. There it is.
Yeah.
I've been waiting.
Oh gosh. You've been waiting. I was just watching all the episodes hoping that it would get to Kylo Ren and I'd understand the context of the first.
Why they made the doll. They made the doll.
An animated show based on females in the Star Wars universe. Let's get
They
Adam
made a Forces of Destiny set with Rey and Kylo.
Yeah, so crazies like you would buy it.
And I did.
Crazy.
And I want them to do the show with him in it.
Maybe one day.
Can we talk about Favreau? Can we move on to Favreau
not?
here?
Are you talking about the guy who's so money he doesn't even know it?
He just posted a picture from The Lion King with like the whole cast with Donald Glover again.
Oh,
dude is owning
you did?
it.
Man, now I'm missing it. But that was
Seth
there was like a
Rogen.
cast. It's not like a scene or a picture.
It was them
anything,
recording for The Lion King.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't see that.
They just posted it.
All right, we're talking Favreau now. Favreau is the new Ron Howard.
He's the new, that good.
He's the Ron Howard character now that we have to hold on to. The guy that's giving us stuff on his Instagram and his social media platforms that's just like, hey, thought you guys might like this. Boom, drop a picture that's just going to stir up fire everywhere.
Alert.
Yeah. So this week, he not only dropped an image of one prop, but 2 props, and specifically, one of them happened to be the, I don't know how to say other than ice cream maker. It wasn't an ice cream maker, but it was in reality an ice cream maker from The Empire Strikes Back, better known as the object Wilro Hood is carrying as he runs around, which has spawned all sorts of fan events and things at these conventions where
it's Celebration. They do the run of it where they have everybody dress up in that
Wilro Hood.
Yep.
Yeah. So a long time fan favorite, and I can't imagine he isn't a fan of that joke or that thing as well. So he decided to throw this back in there. Then shortly after he does that, he posts another picture of the full rifle from The Mandalorian. Now we saw the back of it, and we probably, like eagle-eye viewers, missed this one because
it was right
here. Probably could have picked out that was because the handle is almost identical, but it wasn't until we saw the full view of it that it is very clear that this is modeled off of the Christmas special first appearance of Boba Fett. It's this rifle. Forgive me, I didn't look up the name, but It's like, I don't know, like double plasma short range blaster or something. I don't know, whatever it is. But no, it looks, in my opinion, a lot better because they did vertical on the end, on the barrel, as opposed to like this like weird looking horseshoe thing in the Christmas special. But guys, what do you think about the new Ron Howard, Jon Favreau dropping pictures leaked from the set? Leaked, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Lacey, what are your thoughts? What do you like these?
Yeah, I think it's super awesome. It shows that, you know, everybody knows Jon Favreau cares. He cared from Iron Man earlier, but to know that someone is directing these just like a Ron Howard, who's a geek like us, that loves this stuff just as much as we do, and is like, you know what? I want to post this picture. Now, to be fair, that probably went through like 7 rounds of approvals, but it's very nice that he's fighting for those approvals to post these images, especially with all those other leaks going around. It's kind of like he's taking charge of it and saying, yeah, people are posting stuff about my show. People are posting behind the scenes pics. Let me give you actually legitimate pictures to talk about and look at that are coming from the source.
Yeah. Well, John, what do you think about ice cream being officially brought into Star Wars?
Oh, I love it. I thought it was a Brita filter thing at first.
No, it's an ice cream maker.
Yeah, the ice cream maker. No, I mean, that's cool. I mean, I think, you know, it's probably just on a shelf somewhere. And it's like if JJ had tweeted out the remote practice thing that Luke, you know, was working on. Mm-hmm. And if he showed that in The Force Awakens, people would be like, oh my God, they're going to do lightsaber skills.
Wait, side note for a sec. Remember when JJ tweeted like a month and a half ago and he was like, stay tuned for more updates, and has not posted anything since?
Right.
Yeah, still
ultimate
one tweet.
Troll.
Yeah.
JJ.
I like it. It's always like, though, like a picture of a pencil and then like him with his fancy autograph for the Sharpie marker, like JJ. People like, oh my God, he tweeted a pencil.
No, he's only tweeted that green Dutch angle shot.
Yeah.
But it was just funny because I remember when that came out, it was like, updates from the set.
He has 2 more tweets. You didn't see those?
No, what are they? Are they to vote?
Yeah. No, he had one that had a paper and another that had a pencil.
There it is.
And then you can flick between the two, and it's just a paper and a pencil and a paper and a pencil.
Yeah.
Paper and a pencil.
Jeez, you guys with the Imagine Dragons. No, so far the only tweet is him with Rey in the captain's chair,
it's
right?
Poe.
Oh, that's right.
Called that. You guys were like, no, there's no way. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
John, don't be stupid. It's clearly Poe, Finn, and Watto. Just right there in the front of the...
I'm gonna fly the Falcon.
Who brought this pork up
James,
here?
The best part of the other weapon, that is a troll job, because then you have the Boba Fett people, like Boba Fett fan. It's Boba Fett. If you remember the holiday special, it's Boba Fett's cattle prong.
Is he gonna ride that like ostrich dinosaur? That's what I want to know.
Oh gosh,
the pink one. I bet he does.
The best part of all this is it's I mean, that's clearly the weapon he has strapped on his back, but I don't think Favreau's Ron Howarding by any means, because Ron Howard was like, here's Kessel, there's the spice mines of Kessel right there, take a look. Here's a speeder, here's Han Speeder. Favreau's like, here is a coffee mug on the back third shelf.
Yo,
that's a reference to Empire Strikes Back, because I like the Empire Strikes Back.
Ron Howard also started off slow, showing us like trash cans. Yeah. That were totally normal trash cans, not even Star Wars trash cans.
Do you remember that? He started trolling with like, look at this great shot, and he made it like as a joke, like he was pointing it to the floor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Favreau getting started by actually showing us legitimate props that have meaning to fans.
But that was him throwing the reels filmed by Lord Miller into the garbage. So that was important. Yeah.
First day on the set, it shows a garbage can. Wow, we should have read into that a little more.
Now I'm not going to get invited to the premiere of 27 Jump Street. Oh, so that sucks. But what are you going to do?
Is that it for the news, guys? Are we done talking about all the deep cuts?
News is light.
Yeah. This week, Jon Favreau tweeted a picture, and Oscar Isaac said, 9
Star
is
Wars
cool.
is loose.
Yeah, Star Wars is loose. Yeah, baby. All right. So we're gonna go straight past. We're gonna fly past, if you will, the Scoundrels Rundown this week. Because
there is nothing to run down whatsoever.
Anything that would have been in the rundown, we just spent like 20 minutes talking about it.
Yeah. It'd be like punch it and then turn off punch it. Yeah.
It's this is punching it with Lando flying the Falcon after they escape from Cloud City. It's like, I trusted them.
Yeah. No, this is punch it with, like you said last week, with Chirrut Imwe, because he can't punch it because he's blind.
Yeah.
There's nothing to see here.
What does the Master Switch look like? I am blind. All right. Lacey, you want to take it away?
That delivery, though.
That delivery. With Ask the Resistance this week?
I've been wondering, what are midichlorians?
Yeah. Okay, guys. So we're going to head into hashtag Ask the Resistance. You've got tons of Star Wars questions, and we've got hopefully some wonderful answers about Star Wars-y things. So let's get started with Blogga the Hutt at Blogga the Hutt. Oh my god, I love this handle, Blogga. And he asks, to all the Resistance broadcast, but Lacey in particular, how dare you?
How dare you? He only had one question.
That's it. Yeah, he only
That's
had
the
one.
question. I'm so sorry, Blogga. I don't know. That's me. I don't know. Next is Evan at Harris Eve 9. And he
probably Ev 9, wouldn't you think?
I like saying
she
Eve.
does this
Sounds
every
better.
week.
Her favorite band's Eve 6. That's why.
All right.
Ev
so
6.
he asks, how far in advance do you see Lucasfilm announcing their upcoming Star Wars films at Star Wars Celebration Chicago? For instance, do you think they'll place release dates for every Rian Johnson and D&D? I'm assuming it's D&W, right?
No, D&D is the... Oh, I don't know. I thought it was D&D,
David
right?
and DB.
Isn't it
David
Benny?
and DB,
Isn't it
or
Benny?
Benioff and Wise.
Benioff
Yeah.
Wise? Okay, that's what I thought. Film at the event. So I'll take this one, ladies first. And I have a little background on Celebration. So in the past, they have done Force Awakens announcements, and then in 2015, they announced Rogue One. They announced not when Rogue One was coming, they just announced the title, and they showed a picture of Jyn Erso, and then they just talked about it. And then that was it. That was the whole panel. 2016, they did more of a panel about Rogue One. They showed the trailer and stuff like that. I think it really depends on marketing schedules and how much they want to make an impact. So outside of what fans usually know is a lot of this comes down to money, unfortunately. You know, Disney is a business at the end of the day. And in 2015, when they played that trailer at Celebration, stocks for Disney went up $6 billion. So when money's involved, that will determine what's being announced as well as what they want to be important. So in 2016, when they announced Rogue One, they had plans to have like a episode 8 panel. And then they decided against it because they didn't want it to overshadow Alden and Rogue One. So I think that they will release the name of the movies, maybe give you a picture from the movie or concept art. I would say they'd give a year. I don't think they're going to give you like a specific date of when it's coming out. They're going to give you a year. So they're going to say, Rian Johnson's new movie is blank, it's about blank, and it's happening in 2021.
And spoiler alert, it's probably December.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, I hope that answers your question a little bit, but I think you're not going to get that much information, especially right now. I think you're going to get first day, they're going to have Thursday will be shopping. Friday, they'll probably try to get the episode 9 panel out of the way because a lot of celebrities don't like working on the weekends. So they'll probably try to get that stuff out on Friday along with hitting the news cycle because also press and news don't work on the weekends, generally speaking. And then over the weekend, you'll see other stuff. Sometimes Sunday, they'll do other movies and whatnot. But yeah, you'll probably just get a title or concept or a year that it's supposed to go out, not necessarily anything more than that. I hope that answers your question a little bit.
Hey, Lacey, can I jump in real quick with just a fun tidbit? Like, I don't know
Sure.
when else I would throw this in there, but
Okay.
you mentioned really quick that there was that Rogue One teaser that they showed at Celebration, but they've never released it.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah.
They've never released it. They actually reused footage from that teaser in Solo. So the very last scene when they're flying over the tops of the trees before they go to where the final gamble, where he finally wins the Falcon. So
Yes.
they do like a breeze over the top of the trees.
Yes.
That's the same clip from that Rogue One teaser, which is interesting. Like, because they never released it, they had free reign to reuse it. So just kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's funny about that teaser too, is I remember I was in the room, obviously, watched it. People went nuts because at the end they showed Vader and people lost it. You hear him breathing. It was very cool. But before they played the trailer, they'll probably try to do this again, so I'm giving everybody an inside tip. They were like, don't worry, we're going to be posting this online right after this panel. No one recorded it. And guess what? They did not post it after the panel.
So in April when we're there, we're gonna be like, "Screw you, Iger."
So as
And
someone like
gonna
me,
be like, ha, 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 check your phones at the door.
Yeah. Someone like me who does social is like, oh, okay, I won't, pay attention to really what's going on. I'll just enjoy it. And then they're like, psych, just kidding. I was like, oh God. And then I have all these people asking me like what it was, and I was like, I can't even tell you. But yeah. Okay, cool. So next question. Eric McGilvray at Eric McGilvray 27. And he asks, is The Mandalorian being used as a testing ground for new directors? If so, of the 5 directors named, who would you like to see given the reins of a live action film? James, what do you think?
So I guess the first question here is, are they testing these new directors to set them up for films? And the only one that we've been kind of toying around with for a long time is Dave Filoni. You got to give Dave Filoni the testing ground
Kenobi.
somehow. Well, if that's the movie they're going to give him. But the thing is I think that him shooting some of these episodes could be a testing ground for Filoni. As for everybody else, Rick Famuyiwa, he's done films before. He's proven himself. No. Taika Waititi, no. He obviously...
He did Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. He's big news. Like, yeah, they don't need to worry about him, bring him on. They already trust him. I mean, Thor Ragnarok is Disney, and it's big Disney. It's Marvel. So he's got it under. Another one is Deborah Chow. She has done lots of television. So if they're thinking about bringing her on as a director, I don't think they need to stick her in Star Wars first to test her. She has proven herself as a TV episode director. So if she has the chops for a movie, they have plenty of material to look into if they want to test her out. The only one that seems a little strange in my opinion is Bryce Dallas Howard, who has almost really done nothing. I'm not really sure, to be frank, how she got the job, but she's here, and we just got to trust that Disney saw something in her. But I can't imagine that they would be like, well, we really want Bryce Dallas Howard to do one of our movies. There's so many other directors
James,
out there.
Are you saying that Ron Howard only agreed to fix Solo if they guaranteed his daughter got to direct a live action episode of the Star Wars show? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not. Right. I'm not trying to scream the nepotism, but I just I don't know why Bryce Dallas Howard was brought into this, but I will say that like I said before, she obviously has something that that they wanted, that they were okay with. They approved this. They brought her on.
Sure.
And I'm excited to see what episode she does. But I can't possibly imagine that this is just like, well, we got to give you a little something first before we actually bring you on to do Solo 2 or something. Mm-hmm. That would be ridiculous. So which one do I really want to see move up to film? I mean, I guess Dave Filoni move up, but if I had to give one of these guys a film next, it would be Taika, just because
he's so great.
I don't know. Rick's pretty good though, because I really like Dope, and I think that given the story and how there's kind of like multiple things going on in that movie, and it all works as one, could be, I don't know, useful in a Star Wars movie. So that's my answer.
And disclaimer, I was kidding about the nepotism thing.
Speaking of Bryce Dallas Howard, though, so I think she's wonderful, but I recently finally saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. It was the worst movie I've seen in a long time. Like, it was
worse than Jurassic World?
Bad.
I actually liked Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, God. It was so bad.
I heard it was bad.
Like, John, 5 minutes in, I was like, I'm sorry, what? And Matt was next to me, like, packing up a bag, like, for a job the next day. He was laughing because I'd be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like, the whole time I was just saying things like that. Like, yes, science. Oh, of course there's a scientist and the nerdy guy that's scared. And, like, oh, my God, it was just so bad. Oh,
I heard it was really bad. I'm not surprised James likes it.
And you know what I kept saying the entire time? I was just like, well, thank the Lord they fired Colin Trevorrow. I was like, oh my God, this movie is terrible.
Right.
And Matt was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, he was supposed to do 9. Thank God they got rid of it. Anyway.
He didn't do Jurassic World 2, did he?
Yes, he did. He co-wrote it.
He did Fallen Kingdom. Well, wrote it, but he didn't direct it. Right? Yeah,
I would say writing is more directing, more important than directing.
Well, I don't know about that, but anyway, and that's actually the thing is like I like the writing, or I like the story in that, because I could go into it, but it's what everybody wanted Jurassic Park to be after the first movie, and they never did it because they kept doing stupid things like, well, why don't we just go back to the island, go back to the island, go back to the island, and everybody's like, get off the island, do something different with this franchise. So they did something different, the actual normal real thing that would happen in the real world, and people are like, well, that was dumb, and I'm like, but that's exactly what would happen if the original Jurassic Park happened in the real world.
J.A. Bayona was the director of that awful movie.
Yes.
Anyway, Jurassic Park sucks.
Next question.
Next. So we have Andrew Espinal at I Drew on You.
Okay.
And he asks, it seems like we ask if Anakin will come in episode 9. I'm assuming will arrive. It was already been established you must train to become a Force ghost. So did Anakin do the training in order to become a Force ghost? John, I know you love Force ghosts, so I'm gonna let you take this one.
I do like Force ghosts.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have this is what runs into my problem with the whole retconning and going back and trying to rewrite history with predated stuff. Because when George Lucas had Anakin pop up at the end of Return of the Jedi, it was just a nice little happy moment. He probably didn't think too deeply into it about, well, you have to learn how to become this or anything like that. So then they go back and they make it so that Qui-Gon Jinn learned how to do this thing, and then he'll teach you how, and he taught Obi-Wan how, and he visited him in that, eventually we'll see that in some Kenobi movie, I'm sure, directed by Dave Filoni, according to Lacey. It's troublesome to me. So I guess Anakin must have learned it somehow, unless they do the whole, well, he's the chosen one, so he just says, oh, I'm a Force ghost. Oh, wow, that was cool.
And that's what I think they're going to do.
I'm the chosen one. So look at oh my God, I can see through my hand, like Back to the Future. So that's probably what they'll do as the cheap way of getting by it. But again, it's just one of those things where Lucas told his story. It was simple. It was great. It was fun. It was perfectly ended. And then he went back and complicated stuff, which is fine. And then when you hand it off and other people start getting their hands in there and they complicate it even further, then you have to start saying, well, this is why Obi-Wan said this, and they gotta clean up the mess a bit, and I'm not a big fan of that, which is why I'm really excited about the new stories that we're going to see from the new directors. Let's put this saga away for a little while. But short answer, he probably learned it, or he's just the chosen one, and there's your Force ghost. So
he was
thanks,
born
Andrew.
from the Force.
He was already a Force ghost. He was just like, here I am. All right.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Andrew.
So, because we didn't have a Scoundrels Rundown, we're going to actually keep going. Hooray! So we have a couple more questions to get through. So the next one is from Kylo Ren vs. Mask. The excitement in my voice when I read that. At verse_Ren.
So is their name like it's just when Kylo Ren's beating up his mask?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Versus
that's such a
Ren.
good scene. I wonder how many times they had to shoot that. The poor set guy's like, oh, come on, Adam. He's like putting new panels up.
And
it was somebody else's hand. Like, did that look good? Did this look good?
You don't.
Yes,
it was him. Dude. That was definitely him.
He's
not
method,
all
dude.
those scenes, not those close-ups of it.
No, that was
stuff.
definitely him. Kathleen Kennedy hired him because of his freakouts on girls.
Nobody punches. I can tell when Adam Driver punches a helmet, and that was Adam Driver, dude.
I wish I could talk to the set guy and be like, how many panels did you have to replace? Anyway, okay. So they said, hi guys, do you think we'll see pod racing? Hooray! Again, I added the hooray. In a live action film or TV series? If so, where would you like to see a pod race? So I'm going to have all of us answer this really quickly. James, quickly. So James, do you want to go first?
My first get was the reaction was Malachor, or, that where they had it, there. And I'd like to go to that planet. I'd like to see it happen. But actually, I kind of read into the question a little bit more is where do you think it'll be on TV? And where would you like to see it? Oh, okay. So I would like to see it on TV. Yes. Before in a movie. Yes. And where would I like to see it? Well, the only live action TV show coming up, The Mandalore. I would love to see it somewhere on that planet that they have an episode where they need to go over to the tracks and there's something involving chasing down a gambler or something and on a pod racing thing. And there's only one shot where they look over and there's all these speeding pod racers. That's my answer. That's what I want to see.
John, what do you think?
All right, they did have pod racing in one of the Vader comics, right? Recently, he went somewhere and
Malastare. Did I say Malachor?
You did.
Yeah,
Malastare.
Yeah, Malastare.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll see it again because it was one of those really takeaway things from the Phantom Menace. Now, you can criticize Lucas all you want about the prequels, but that was fresh and new and awesome. I thought it was cool.
That's what my dad remembers from that movie. He'll be like, that's the one with the racing, right? That was exciting.
Yeah, the engines
all
were
right,
cool.
Bill
like,
Gill.
everything was awesome.
Bill Gill knows what's up.
Where would I want to see a pod race? Give me like Hoth, so it's almost like bobsledding. Like, I think that'd be kind of cool.
It's so funny you say that, because when I read this question, all I thought about was Mario Kart, and I was like, okay, what theme level do I like to drive on? And then I thought, how about, what's it called, the place where Vader's castle is? I'm blanking right now. Mustafar. How funny would that be to have a pod race? Because you're like, watch out for the lava. Whoa. And it's like Mario Kart.
I like bobsledding though. Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Get on up. It's pod race time.
Yeah. Cool running. pod race style. Yeah. I think that'd be cool. A little snow ice pod race situation.
Yeah.
So that's my pick.
Nice. Next question is from Darth Hurricane at Darth Hurricane. Hooray! You got your handle.
Yay.
And they ask, focusing more on the sequel trilogy, are there any scenes from the trailers you wish would have been saved for the movies themselves? For me, it's the X-Wings flying over the water. I think theaters would have erupted if that happened had only been in the theaters. John, what do you think?
Man. Are we just going by the recent movies?
Yeah, sequel, yep. So probably, the 6 trailers we've seen for each movie, each movie.
But also Solo and Rogue One.
James, do you have a...
he says sequel trilogy.
Oh, he does? Okay. Well, either way, my answer is the same. And the answer is no. I think that the trailers are masterpieces. I think that they are built exactly how they're supposed to be. I think they reveal exactly what they want you to know. I feel like they put these specific scenes to be things that hook you and pull you in, but don't really give anything away because we want to know what happens after that scene, not that scene in particular. So these things are just... unreal to me, and I can't even think of anything that I would rather like if I took something out what I would want in the trailer. It becomes a mess. So I love them exactly the way they are.
Okay, with that understanding, if you could pick one thing as a surprise when you were watching it, what would it be? Because I agree with you. I love the trailers.
One thing as a surprise?
Just one thing from the trailer that if it was only in the movie, you'd be like, oh my god.
I don't know. Go to John. Let me think about that for a second.
I know it was a big deal, but I think it would have been way more emotional and cool if the Chewie We're Home was not in the trailer. And the first time I saw Han was on screen while watching The Force Awakens.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, people lost it when he came out, but it was definitely, when you go back and watch The Force Awakens now, which, by the way, is my favorite in the sequel trilogy right now, that moment when he comes in, it kind of loses its weight because you've already seen it so many times.
Right.
I'm trying to think of the trailers.
I've got one, by the way,
okay,
for your answer. So my thing is, the reason I'm saying I wouldn't take this out is because I feel like I love all of the in-between time between the first time we get it in the trailer and the actual film. But I don't know, something off the top of my head, the last scene in the Force Awakens teaser, Kylo walks out there, turns on the lightsaber, boom, 2 blades out the side. I think like that in the theater could have been really cool if they would have had to figure it into the film, like, oh, this time, the first time he turns on his blade, that's got to be a big dramatic moment, whereas that was like at the end of the movie. But I think if that wasn't in the trailer, they probably would have done that for the film, and then it would have been this really cool moment where we're like, what the heck is that lightsaber? This is insane!
I remember it's so funny talking about this stuff, and it makes me so excited because I remember when that trailer came out, and when you saw that scene where it was like shing, shing, you were like, wait, what? He can have side things? What?
Yeah, that trailer to me was like
Evil
fan art coming alive. Is like how it felt to me. Like, this is stuff that people just like have made up for years, and they all threw it together.
Well, do you remember the concept art? Yeah, I know. The concept art that came out, and it looked like it was that figure at the top of the snowy mountain, and then the 2 of them below. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of right there. Yeah, we got to get going. We got to move along.
But I haven't answered yet. I told you guys to answer quickly, and you both took 20 minutes. So
James took 20 minutes.
No, you both did. You both took 20 minutes.
Whoa.
I would probably say in the Last Jedi trailer when Rey gets tortured, I think I would have liked it more if it was only in the movie, because I remember watching in the trailer and I was like, no, Rey! But like in the movie, that scene, like, I don't know, it's not that scary because you've already seen it in the trailer, and then she gets tortured and you see like the effect it has on Ben, obviously, but then she falls to the ground and she's like, fine. Whereas I feel like if it happened in the movie and you didn't see it in the trailer, then you'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah. That's a good one.
But yeah, that's it. Okay. Right. 2 more questions. John Reese at John S. Reese. And
that's getting your handle right there.
Yeah. And he asks, do you have any fun things that can get out of control with your Star Wars fandom? Where do I begin, John? Any collecting to curtail? I limit myself to the Star Wars store to once a month, or I buy things I do not, he wrote in caps, do not need. Hashtag sideshow toys, or toy. So I'm going to start with you, James, quickly. Is there anything that you have to like be careful Star Wars wise? Otherwise, you'll buy them all.
And I didn't know this was going to be an Ask the Resistance question. I figured it wouldn't. So I wrote him already and I said no. I really don't. You guys know, like, you guys have like Force effects lightsabers and stuff. And I just, I don't really feel like a need to go buy it. And anytime I am in that situation, I just kind of say, I know what I'm doing here and I don't need that, but I do buy stuff, but I just don't have anything that I'm like crazy about, I don't think.
John?
I just think the only fun thing that can get out of control with the fandom is just our obsession with it. Sometimes we get heated with each other and argue about it, and then you like sit back and you remember Pink Shorts guy filming with his boom mic, and you're like, it's stupid. Just remember it's fun and stupid. Like, stop arguing. So probably just the fact that sometimes we get too serious about the plots and stuff and argue.
Do you have any fun things that can get out of control? I'm
quick enough for you, Gillerin.
Yes. So me in general, like, my life motto is out of control. Like, I don't know how to take things easily and not get obsessive about them, to the point that I wish you could see my screen right now and see me, like, my office that I record in. I don't record in the closet anymore, guys. So I have easily probably like an obscene amount of Star Wars stuff, like from toys to posters to art to prints to pins to everything, clothes. I have so many t-shirts, and I know you guys know that because I wear a different t-shirt in like every picture and video I'm in. I have a problem. I should probably go to seek help for it, but I love it, and it's something that I treat as my escape.
Confirm.
Yeah. And I think going back to what John said, it's really important to remember why you love things. And I think that oftentimes we get bogged down by the negativity and the terrible things in the world, and we need to leave that out of fandom because we're here to have fun and enjoy things, and this is my escape, and I tell the people that, you know. Life sucks as it is, so this is my way to get around the suckiness. All right.
Bobblehead Mall.
Last question from Van Solo at Savannah M. Litton. And Savannah writes, if you guys could be a fly on the wall during the production of any Star Wars movie, aside from Episode 9, because I'll say that, which one would it be and why? Go ahead, James.
I have a hard time picking between Force Awakens and Return of the Jedi. But I think the reason I would want to be on the Force Awakens set is just to see everybody's excitement over like, oh, it's real stormtroopers and practical effects and stuff like that. But to be honest, they do a really good job at cataloging this for everybody to see and like DVD extras and things like that. So I go back to Return of the Jedi, and I just think like if it was just one thing, the whole shooting of the Luke versus Vader while the Emperor's watching stuff is just like so crazy. I think like my brain wouldn't be able to handle like what is happening, and like they don't even know how important this is going to be, you know.
Right,
I know they know it's the third movie and it's a big deal at Star Wars, but like it's just so crazy. Like every movement that they make, I'm like, do you realize that was the perfect way to swing your lightsaber? What you're about to do, I know, because this is the take where they get it. What you're about to do is perfect.
James, what about now? Like not in the past, but now. Which set would you want to be on? Not Episode 9.
Mandalorian.
Okay, fair enough. John?
Yeah.
It'd have to be Empire. It's just the perfect Star Wars movie, and just watching the Dagobah stuff happen, from that to the awesome models they used through the Battle of Hoth, to the Luke versus Vader thing. Like, if I was able to be in that carbon chamber room with the orange lights and stuff and walk up those steps, like, forget it. That'd be my dream. Like, just watching that. And then it's funny because there's one shot of behind the scenes when they're doing the battle when he cuts off Luke's hand, and there's some guy below on the mattresses that Hamill falls on, just standing there watching them do it. I want to be that guy.
Lacey, really quick, I was thrown by your question. There are no other movies besides Episode 9 being filmed.
Well, there's the Rian Johnson ones.
But that's not being filmed.
Well, it says during the production. They're in production.
Well, okay, I guess. I'm thinking like
we have
day one.
We have no time to nitpick, guys. We have to end the episode.
I was confused. I'm like, besides Episode 9, Mandalorian. That's the only other thing I could think of that's shooting now.
I'd probably pick Force Awakens. I just really love that movie. I find it so fun, and it came right during, a time when I needed it. So it means a lot to me. And
nice.
Yeah, that would be my choice. Thank you guys so much for all your questions. If you want to be on the show and get a shout out and we can talk about your handle and answer your question, hopefully give you a good answer, you can just send us a question on Twitter. Our handle is at RBATSWNN, and use the hashtag AskTheResistance, and maybe you'll be on the show. So that's it. Back to you, John.
All right. Yeah, keep those questions coming. Love it. Fun part of the show. And I think we just barreled through like 9 or 10 questions. So we're going to restock the vault. So keep those questions coming, please.
It's my favorite
And then
part.
while you're at it, guys, please do subscribe to us on Spotify now, iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube. Make sure you are heading to StarWarsNewsNet.com every day for your latest Star Wars news, reviews, editorials, information, and more. We have a great comic book and book review team there that's second to none. So shout out to those guys over there. Also, like we were talking about before, the t-shirts. If you didn't win, we do thank you for rating the Resistance. But if you want to buy one, you can go to tpublic.com/user/Resistance broadcast. 40 different designs. You can get on a mug, sticker, t-shirt, whatever you want. We appreciate the support there. We have a lot of other exciting stuff coming up that we're going to announce to you guys in the coming weeks, hopefully. So stay tuned for that. As far as us, I'm John Hoey. You could find me on Twitter at Johnny Hoey and writing and editing over at StarWarsNewsNet.com. James, what about you?
Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Myra Trunks. And I think as of the recording of next week's episode, I should have my Apple Watch Series 4. For anybody who cares, I went with that sweet 44 millimeter space gray with the new Nike Sport Band. Oh, love it. Nike Plus Series edition. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Oh my God. Everybody shut off the episode already.
God. Man, John hates technology.
Lacey, when you're on your technology, how can people reach you?
People can find me on Twitter at Lacey Gillerin, where I talk about Star Wars and my love for Kylo Ren. Please go vote and register to vote. It's important. It's coming up.
Wow. Yeah.
It's very important that we vote. It's your civic responsibility if you're in America. If you're international, thank you for supporting.
Yes. Unless you're under empiric rule, don't rise up because Palpatine will electrocute you with lightning. So, sorry. Guys, we are going to be back with you on Thursday where we are going to discuss, we're doing it. We're going to discuss, will Kylo Ren have an apprentice in episode 9?
What?
Yeah.
I didn't read the notes.
I know.
Yeah.
So we will be back with you on Thursday with an awesome show, chock full of awesome discussion and goodness. So enjoy your weeks, and we will see you on Thursday morning right here on the Resistance broadcast. See you around, kids.
I'm so excited.